Hi everyone, Phil back here for another video. This time with a little Blu-ray / 4K update, little 1 4K. These are all ordered from an English website called Film Treasures. Used them a couple of times now. I used them. I think the last time I used them, I picked up was the Jack Frost 1 and 2 and Transfers 4 and 5. I think was the last time. Yeah, I used those. So that they got in this new 4K, and I was like, well, I'll get that. And then I saw they also got a new Blu-ray set that I wanted, and then I just rounded shit up. I kind of rounded it up. I tend to order off sites via PayPal credit. Gives you, I use that when you spend over £100, you get 4 months to pay it off. I kind of use that to, instead of using a credit card, if you will, I use that and I get 4 months to pay it off, and I usually pay it off, you know. It works for me. It might not work for everybody, but it works for me. It's better than stick it on a credit card and then gaining interest, because it's 4 months complete interest free. I usually put my sneakers on there. When you see me buying sneakers, I usually put them on there, and it gives you like a transaction date, and pay off by this, you don't pay any interest, and that's what I do. So anyway, yeah, so that's why I ended up bumping up this order with particularly the last 2 discs. It was just to get it over the £100 mark, and that seemed a lot, but unlike some other websites I mentioned, Film Treasures do pay their tax and duties and stuff. Yeah. So we'll start with the reason that we placed this order. The new 4K Summer Park Massacre and Summer Park Massacre 2. As you can see, it's got the Film Treasure sticker on it. This, yeah, new 2022 4K scan. This has got a new 4K scan of this. The sequel's got the R-rated cut's got the scan, and then it's got the 85-minute extended cut. Essentially, I used to own the Blu-ray of this, and when it got to silly money, like I'm talking seriously silly money, like why would you even pay that much? I sold mine. I bought mine years ago. I go through periods where I buy discs, I don't buy discs, and at the time I was on a don't buy any disc kick. We went on holiday to Toronto, and I don't know if HMV still. I know HMV shut down, and then they got bought by, was it Sunrise Records? But at the time when we went, HMV was still a thing, and they had 2 shops. One was in the Eaton Centre, innit? It's Eaton Centre. I think one was a Sunrise Records and turned into a HMV, and obviously HMV has gone under and they turned into Sunrise Records. But is it sure it's Sunrise? Is it Sunrise? I'm sure it is. Can't remember. But anyway, this one trip we went. At the time in the UK, I wasn't buying any discs. I was like, nope, I'm not buying discs. A lot of stuff I've got is I've transitioned to digital. I've paid money for digital files. You know, I've ripped obscure DVDs to digital and threw the cases away, put the discs in stacks and put the covers in folders and stuff. I've done all that. And went to Canada. Then the HMV in the mall, it was downstairs. I think it was only there for that. The next time we went, it had gone. But they had the biggest Scream Factory selection, biggest I've ever seen in the US. And I spent £1,000, not dollars, not Canadian dollars, £1,000 buying Scream Factory discs, which included this, Summer Park Massacre 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, the original Blu-ray release. And then, like I said, the prices of those Scream Factory discs crept up and up and up, and then this particular one went skyrocketed. And I'm like, okay, Summer Park Massacre, am I that obsessed with having these 2 on? I think I was like, well, I've got these 2, and I've got Sorority House Massacre. But I don't have the complete set of, like, I consider Slumber Party Massacre 1 and 2, and then Sorority House Massacre 1 and 2, and then Hard to Die. All those 5 films I consider as one big lot, because it's kind of the whole, it's what you grew up watching. So I didn't have Sorority House Massacre 2 or Hard to Die, so I thought, sod it, I'll get rid of this disc, especially with that stupid amount of money, and I sold it. I sold it for like over £100 on eBay. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So, and then of course this comes out 4K retail price. It's It's got the Blu-ray in it as well. It's got the 4K and the Blu-ray. Yeah, I call that profit making. This is another one I've had before, and another one I've sold, and another one I've bought back. That is Waxwork 1 and 2. A few scuffs to the case, but you can't be up because it's this shiny metallic thing. Yeah, this is another one. I've had this set before. Got Waxwork. Weirdly, I don't know why they did that. Just put Waxwork on there and Waxwork on the side. Bizarrely, I've seen Waxwork 2, or Lost in Time as it was called in the UK, way more than I've seen Waxwork. Because I rented the crap out of Lost in Time because of the fact it looked amazing. Yeah, I've got the poster. This chair's going to creak while I move. Poster right out there, the UK poster out there on my literally top of my stairs. I've a landing. I've got a bunch of 90s video shop posters. Scanner Cop 2, Beastmaster 2, Shoot Fighter, Lost in Time, 1201. Which not hardly anyone talks about. Even Under Siege out there. But yeah, Waxwork 2, the British poster with the head with the eyes coming out. I was a teenager, went to Nottingham to visit relatives, saw that poster on it was in a shopping centre, massive poster. I'm like, holy crap, what is that? Went home, rented it again, rented it again. Realised it was actually a sequel to Waxwork, rented Waxwork, but only like once. So I've seen Waxwork 2 loads of times, but I never knew it for ages. I just Lost in Time. So yeah, had this. Again, sold this during my, I'm going to sell my discs because I'm going all digital. Yeah, during that daft period I have. As you can tell, I buy discs again. I say that. This was part of my, I'm buying every Vestron release going period. And then realised, I don't want to watch Sundown. I don't want to watch Parents again. I like Parents. I'm never watching it. Sundown, I'm not, you know what I mean? Some of the things, yeah. So I just got rid of the whole collection to stop me being a completist. But now I've actually recently stopped being a completist. I really have. Like Jackie Chan movies. At one point I was buying all the 80 films. I'm like, no, you're not going to watch those 70 Chan movies more than the one time you watch them when you buy them. So got rid of all them. I've just got Police Story 1, 2 and 3. Armour of God. I need to get Operation Condor again. And I did want to get the HMV Premium Collection release of Mr. Nice Guy, just because it's the extended version, and I probably have, but I don't remember ever seeing that. Next in the purchases is another Vestron release, more modern one. Dentist 1 and 2. Come on. The amount of times I nearly plunged for the Dentist DVDs from Germany, and then yeah, Germany seemed to love the Dentist. The amount of times I was going to get the Dentist from Germany DVD. I think, did it come out on Blu-ray? It might have done. And then they're going to announce, oh yeah, Vestron's putting out Dentist 1 and 2 together. Damn, I need to get them. I absolutely love the Dentist. Now if they could put out Dr. Giggles. Oh, are they putting out Dr. Giggles? Someone is putting out Dr. Giggles. Because it's like, that's another one. Whereas I say, like with the Summer Potty Massacre, Sorority House Massacre, they always go together. For some reason, the Dentist and Dr. Giggles for me got together. It was that weird, it was that period, isn't it, when in the was it 90s or early 2000s? I can't even. Yeah, late 90s would have been the period when I went after I went to LA. And I was, yeah, it would have been that period when we came back from there. I've told the LA story before, but we came back from there. I had a little bit of spare cash left over. Bought a fancy VCR. We had an old big front loader, a Philips one that we got from my uncle, and you know it worked. It was temperamental. It worked, but it was one of those old ones where you put the tape in, clunk. You press the button, clunk. You know, and we went into. Dixon's, or would it have been Dixon's? Man, you don't think they're not, because where I used to live, the nearest town was at the time was Burnley. You had like Granada, Dixon's, Comet, Curry's, and I don't know. And then you had like tiny computers. Very nearly, that's a story for you. Years ago, I very nearly bought a home cinema PC from Tiny before anyone was ever doing home cinema PCs. It was a Windows did a thing years ago. LGR talked about that period of thing. I'm sure he has. Here on YouTube. But yeah, so we came home and the VCR thin. Everything was hidden under a flap. All the controls had a remote control that had an opening flap at the top, so you can see the screen with the details. And when you opened it up, it had all the extra buttons, and it had long play. And straight out the box, it played NTSC titles, which is why I bought it, because obviously I had bought in America. I'd bought Exorcist, Zombie Flesh Eaters, or Zombie 2 as they call it, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I bought them tapes. I'd spent the money to get them transferred to English from this dodgy guy I knew. But then I also got an NTSC VCR. And that's when my rental exploded, because I had a decent VCR. This one, the old one was dodgy with tracking. So yeah, that was like late 90s. I was eating up tapes at the local shop, you know, £1 a week ones, going through back catalogues, like you could pre-order stuff that weren't even out. I'd get the it was Ritz, what was it, Ritz video at one point, and you go through to what's coming out. I'd be like, right, I'll pre-order that, but I want to pre-order that for the very night it comes out. You get it on a Monday, I want it that Monday night. And that's what, you know, I saw all these types of Dentist, Dr. Giggles, went through all the back catalogue, the Puppet Master movies, and yeah, all the Friday the 13th over and over, and Nightmare on Elm Street. They were all in these, they kept all these horror franchises on the £1 a week wall. So you just rent the entire franchise for £1 each for a week. And sometimes I just walk in and go, can I just rent these again? It didn't take taste back with me. I just walk in and go, has anybody book these to go out? Because that's what you used to do back in the day. Anybody book these to go out? No. All right, here's me, whatever. So say I'd rent it out like Friday 13th, 1 through 8. Here's £8 again. And just keep these tapes for another week, sort of thing. Yeah, that was also a period when you could get Fangoria in the UK off tape shop shelves. Yeah, there's a shop. I used to go to my local. I can rant before. I talked about my local video guy, and the shop near. There was a newsagent at the bus stop near where I used to get the bus home from that place, and that had Fangorias on the shelf. Fangoria Dark Side on the shelf all the time, every month. So that was, I consider, my golden period. Sort of like after I turned 16 in 93 to like I think the dawn of DVD, which was, so I remember my first job was in 99, and I knew I'd worked with a guy who was massively into importing. He introduced me to like all these import companies that you could get, you know, you were spending 25-30 quid for a disc DVD, but he introduced me to all that. So that was kind of, that period in my life was heavily invested in VHS tapes. It really was. Now I have a constant battle every day between space, stuff, and wanting to watch every movie ever going, and having every movie ever going. Like I say, I've got folders with sleeves in, discs in, a little tiny stack of DVDs down over there that I've kept in the cases because they're awesome, like Zapped Again, Spitfire, the Australian release of I'll put you up for Spitfire. I've bought Blu-rays, I've sold Blu-rays, I've bought DVDs, I've sold DVDs. I'm trying to curate. That's kind of, managed to get to a point where I'm not a completist. I'm trying to curate a collection, so I'm not buying everything, which is why, you know, I'm buying not a lot of stuff, but quite a bit of stuff. So like the Chinese stuff, the Japanese stuff, Far East, whatever you want to call it, that 88 are putting out, that Eureka are putting out, Mr. Vampire 2 through 5, is it? It's coming out. Anyway, some curating. As part of that curation, I am buying some stuff back, hence the Waxwork 1 and 2, and hence buying these two. MVD Rewind collection of House on Sorority Row and One Dark Night. And I've literally just realised, when did that change? When did they change that logo? That's issue number 29, that's 32. Yeah, is it just that one I think it's just that one that has that special logo on it? I've never had this disc. I had the UK 88 Films release of One Dark Night. But when I saw these two, and I topped it up, they were in the sale on Film Treasure, so I was like, right, bugger it, I get these two. That, one of my all-time favourites. This, I always get confused. Back in the day, Was this put out as House of Evil in the UK? Or was that the one with that... is it Richard Crenna? With the ghost thingy? I just remember the Apex Video, House of Evil. It was either this or that haunted house thing with Richard Crenna in. I'm sure it was one of the two. Not the Japanese one. Not one with that samurai ghost. It was another one, I'm sure. I can't remember what it's called now. But, so yeah, this has been a long-standing love of mine. I've seen... I remember I grew up with like a shit censored version. I don't know why. I had a recording off some channel and it was cut. I mean, it's not exactly the most horrific film ever. Do you know what I mean? But it was cut, and I grew up with that. Finally got an uncut version, and was like, oh, you know, there's only a few little bits, but it's creepy and sinister. I love it. The remake, nah, I'm not going to say the remake shit. I've watched it. I didn't hate it. I'm not these people that like, my precious, got to keep these. No. This thing, One Dark Night. How many times have I owned this now? This is like the third time I've owned this film. Mainly because Meg Tilly's in it. Meg Tilly was one of the best leading ladies of the kind of the 80s in terms of like portraying like sensitive, I wouldn't say broken, but kind of like tragic, but then managed to fucking become final girl badass. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Yeah. And of course, this is by, as it says there, from writer director Tom McLaughlin, who did Friday the 13th Part 6, my favourite Friday the 13th, because that was the first one I actually saw, on the BBC no less. I don't know if anyone remembers back in the day. BBC actually, on the BBC, showed Friday the 13th Part 6, and then a few weeks later showed Part 8. They were cut to crap, but they showed them both. And I had them both recorded off TV, and I watched the crap out of the pair of them, which is why I like them. I love Part 2 and 3, the kind of the back-to-back. 4, I know everyone loves that one, but yeah. 5, yeah. 6 and 8, 7. 7, when I've got the set, I need to rewatch 7. I haven't rewatched 7 for years, but yeah. 6 and 8, I can watch them. And 2 and 3 I like, because they were like back-to-back, weren't they? It was like the endings overcut each other. I thought it was amazing in there. So, anyway, stop rambling. Blu-ray 4K pickups. Just a little small collection. I don't think I've shown these in the pickups actually, really. Give me a second. Let me just move my whatever that chick's called from that anime. I can't remember years about that, years ago. What's the anime? Tenjo, is it something like that? Yeah, recently purchased. Never showed these off in the video actually. Seventh Curse. Didn't get the limited edition, it's just a slipcase version. Iceman Cometh. I was umming and ahhing about this. And then 1, does that look like Highlander or does that look like Highlander? And then 2 of them was like, it's madcap, crazy stuff, and I love madcap crazy. And then another recent pickup would be Supercop, aka Police Story 3, just to go with my parts 1 and 2. Didn't want to upgrade to 4K. I think that release is fantastic, the Eureka original Blu-rays. I didn't see the need to upgrade to 4K really, so I just thought I'd get the Blu-ray Part 3 before it expires, as it were. Anything else? Actually, I've got that many titles, and did I show these off either? I don't know if I did. I can't remember. I've been buying discs left, right, and centre recently. Royal Warriors, yes, madam. Might have shown these off. Don't know, but another 2 Eureka releases. We'll be getting in the Line of Duty 3 and 4 as well. This being 1 and 2. Yeah, fantastic. So that kind of, you can see I'm curating a weird little collection, but not going over. I mean, I'm not going over, but I've just showed you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra to the 5 I've just bought. So I'm not going overboard. I've just bought loads of them. With actually, what's them up there? Breakfast Club on UK Criterion at last, which I bought for the documentary mainly because I have Breakfast Club Steelbook. I think I got the VHS Blu-ray release as well. Anyway, that's me done. I've rambled on for way too long. Just said thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.